Hey guys, how you doing? Today's video we're going to talk about the old 02 Chevy Astro here. You know, this is a vehicle with over 200,000 miles, so naturally the fuel economy is going to go down a little bit, but these Astro vans were not known for their fuel efficiency. They're excellent vehicles, the GMC Safaris, Chevy Astros, the best vehicles that GM ever produced. You still see a lot of them on the road. You know, this is a Michigan car. It's starting to get some rust here and some back there. That's the worst of it. The indestructible 4.3 V6. It's got it all. It's got power. It's got towing capacity. I don't know why they ever stopped making these things. Well, I do know why. Because they were selling. And anything that sells and people don't come back quickly for, they stop making. But yeah, so we're going to talk about fuel efficiency today. Alright. Whoa! I'm not used to doing this right-handed. Alright. Whoops. Huh. Usually doesn't do that, but that's okay. So, let's see here. Using the computer, our average fuel economy is about 15.5. Now my dad has a little bit of a heavier foot than I do. When I drive this thing, I can usually get up to about 16. You gotta have a steady foot. Currently we're getting 0 because we're standing still. Blah blah blah. This van pretty much stays in the city. That's the other reason, the city driving. So I plug in my scanner here. I don't know how well you can see this or not. You probably see the red light. So the fuel system isn't really registering, but the RPM is about 900, we'll call that. And the spark advance is 16, 17, 18. It changes, so we'll just say about 16. And now that's stock. This van just had a tune-up like 200 miles ago. It's running on regular fuel. It does have a problem with the code with the it won't read an O2 sensor. There's a connection problem, or there's something with the exhaust. So we'll have to have that looked at. But for now, what we're gonna do is we're gonna try a couple different things. I showed you a video about putting a chip on this. I have to reconnect it because for some reason my dad decided to disconnect it. So we'll have to see if that makes a difference. And I have an air filter over there I want to try. We're going to try for a while. So let's get started with that. Well, the chip that I put in, my dad, I bet you he had the shop do it and it's thrown out. So that's gone, of course. Well, so much for that. So we can't reconnect the chip. Good job. So what we'll have to do, because the chip connects into here to the mass airflow sensor, so what we're going to do, essentially we're going to eliminate this stock air intake. Alright, so this is called a Ram Air direct induction kit, I believe, or whatever. I bought this on eBay. I think it was like 30 bucks. You know, I said, why not? I'll try it out. The only complaint I have is the whole thing is sticky for some reason. I don't know, it doesn't smell like anything. It's just sticky, so I'll have to clean that off. But here's the inside. This connects up to your intake. Of course, you have instructions. And, looks like a sticker. Sweet, I love stickers. As well as adapter kits and everything, and a bracket. So what looks like what we're going to need is for sure a flathead screwdriver, among other things. And then here's the actual element. The idea is they don't make cold air intakes for these vehicles, for the Chevy Astro vans. There's nowhere to put it. So my idea was, well, rather than have the air intake this much from right here, so like this much, to feed this behemoth of an engine, you might as well take this much. Granted, it won't be cold air, but it'll be better than, you know, it'll be better than a restricted flow. Now, I know that stock setups, they're designed to give you the best mileage possible. However, the more air an engine gets, the more efficiently it can burn fuel. Therefore, the less the RPM has to, the less RPM the engine has to produce. On my truck here, I have the K&N cold air intake. Oh, that scared me. And at cruising speed, about 65-70 miles an hour, it runs at about 1800 RPM, whereas prior it would run at about 2000. So you save a little bit. Is it enough to go out and outfit every vehicle with a K&N cold air intake? No. But every little bit helps in the mileage game, especially with fuel prices the way they are. So we're going to remove this and basically install that. So going over this again, we have the element, the mounting plate, tube, some hose clamps, a bracket. There's one nut in there. I hope that's all we need. Honest to God, I hope that's all we need. Washer, the instructions, and you're going to need definitely a socket set, flat screwdriver, shop towels. I have brake clean just because. So let us begin. So with that said, though, do this at your own risk. I'm not responsible. This is just a video that shows you kind of one way that we can hopefully. This is just an overview video on this Ram Air, whatchamacallit. So we loosen this clamp up. Actually, this is a brand new air filter, so we won't throw that away. I've had all of this out before because I had to change the thermostat on this critter once. That was a nightmare. Whoops. Now, this box does come apart now. Let's remove this clamp some more. Okay, there we go. And it's out. So we're left with the mass airflow sensor right here, which I'm going to clean because I have the cleaner to do it, and I'm right here. Doesn't look too bad in there, but better to be safe than sorry. That's pretty carboned up right here. I don't know how well you can see that. So what we're going to do, clean the outside. You want to be careful of these little tabs in here. Those are extremely delicate, so do not touch them with that straw. Excuse me. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a towel. We're going to let this critter dry. While that's drying, our next step, according to the instructions here, which I am reading just for ease of doing this, it says to locate once we've removed the filter, obviously we're going to put the mass airflow sensor back on here. We want to locate a support bracket attached to the firewall. That would be this right here. It supports the wire loom that goes into the fuse panel. So right there. So what we want to do is we want to remove this screw. Well, I think what we're going to do is this one end of the bracket is going to attach back to that. we're going to want to remove this screw. Righty tighty, lefty loosey. But we're not going to want to lose any of this hardware. I should get some 317-201 for when I put this back in, but it's okay. Alright, now we grab the support bracket here. Oh, it is raining out here. Now, according to the instructions, there is somewhere it's marked F, right there. I don't know if you can see it, F. This end attaches to the firewall, apparently. How? Like that. Okay, so now we attach this, and using the screw we just took out, attach it to the firewall like that. This may suck, because I have fat hands. Oh, that wasn't bad. Okay. So our next step is to remove this boot from the mass airflow sensor, which is easy like so, and then put it back on. So we take this base plate, they call it, and we attach the this blue pipe, and we take a hose clamp. So we attach this to this. Apparently it's a nice flexible pipe, actually, even though it's cool out here. Get that on like so, and make sure that it's pointing away from the element. So here is where the element would be, the filter element, and the airflow, as you can see, it's going that way. And we secure it with a hose clamp that I have to loosen up. Yeah. Okay, that's snug. So we put this onto the mass airflow sensor. And you're starting to see how she's going to kind of line up. Although this thing is a pain in the backside. Uh-oh. Come on. Come on, critter. So now that this is kind of on, I didn't think about this quick enough, but you can pull that a little bit. Theoretically, yes. Yes, no, maybe. There, that was it. That was that satisfying little thunk. This casting is aluminum, by the way, which would be kind of nice. Hopefully, I can get the bastard started. Alright, so now that we have those kind of there, we can get this critter on, theoretically. Uh-oh. Yeah, there we go. Okay. That's it. Now what we're going to do is tighten these critters up. Might be here for a minute. Okay, finally, Now the last step, what we got to do, and make sure that this isn't going to crunch into anything when you close the hood, because that would be less than optimal. And make sure all our tools are clear. Now, all right, we're back in this critter. Well, it starts. Now, we're going to take a bathroom break and I will be right back. So what we're going to do, like I said before, we're going to remove this whole thing. There's a screw back here. Excuse me. Instructions, we usually just chuck those away.